Good Monday morning. Today we're doing another Money Mondays here at the Business of Apparel. And I wanted to go back a couple of weeks. So a couple of weeks ago, we showed like a bunch of screen shares of the pie chart resources that we have been sharing with our community. And so there is a free pie chart ebook, but there is a ebook that we also wrote, which is basically like a 10-year business plan. And a couple of people have reached out to me kind of asking about the big numbers that we put into this ebook, asking like how it was that they're supposed to achieve some of these things. And so I wanted to kind of break down today what it means to purchase this type of inventory or make these kinds of sales so that it feels a little bit more realistic. Now I've got my sheet up over here. I've also just got like my handy dandy calculator going so that I can kind of figure out what some of the numbers might be. So, for example, we started and we said in year one, we expect you in quarter one, once you've approved the development of your style, to place a purchase order of $65,000. So I'm going to put that into my calculator here. Now, depending on where you're manufacturing, of course, and what kind of goods you're making and all of that kind of stuff, you're going to have a target cost on that. You're going to have a cost of what you're going to want to buy from the factory for that amount of money. Now, $65,000 purchase order, let's say your goods average out at about $20 per piece. Okay. So that's how much it's going to cost you to make, get them produced, get them shipped, get them imported into the US. $20. Let's just use that. So $65,000 divided by 20 is 3,250 pieces. Now, that might seem like a lot. And I'm not going to deny that over 3,000 pieces of inventory, if you don't know how to sell it, if you don't have the right community, if you don't have the marketing and sales to back you up, that is a lot of inventory to try to sell through, especially with the sales goals that we're trying to give to you. Now, at the same rate, that $20 garment is probably going to sell for about $100. So we usually take our cost. So we take our target cost, we multiply it by 5. It might not be quite $100. Let's say it's $90 because we've added some shipping, we've added some freight in there, which is a whole other thing. So let's say that those pieces are going to sell for $90. In Q2, we had said that we want you to sell $40,625 worth of inventory. Now we're going to divide that by $90 that you're going to be selling them for. That's 451 pieces. So of the 3,250 pieces, I think that's the number I just said, that we ordered on that first PO, I need you to sell about 451 of them in quarter two. So 450 pieces per quarter. That's 150 pieces per month, which means that's 38 pieces per week. Do you think you can sell 38 garments per week in a quarter? So that's basically you getting 3,250 pieces. In that first quarter, you only need to sell that many. You only need to sell 450. And then pretty much every other quarter after that, we're going to start to increase your sales volume. But the question is, do you think you can sell 38 pieces per week? If the answer is no, that is going to slow down your profitability a little bit. I'm not going to lie. What we really want to see you do is take your inventory, and by the time you sell through about 2/3 of that inventory, you are going to then place your next purchase order, because for you to get through that last third of your inventory, you need the factory to take that time to create your next batch, get it to you so that by the time you receive it, you've sold through that final third. You're ready for more inventory. Hopefully you're as clean as possible in your warehouse. You're ready to take on the next batch. So that's how we start to see exponential growth. Hopefully also, as you started to get your product out, it's of high quality. It fits the body really well. Your customers love it. They want to come back for more, or they want to tell their friends about it, or they want to start gifting it to people. This is the reason why having high quality products that fit the body really, really well, if you can make a garment that like people say, this is the best fitting X, this is the best fitting Y, this is the best fitting pair of jeans I've ever owned, I'm going to tell everyone about it. This is the best fitting bra I've ever had. This is the best fitting swimsuit. And I'm saying those 3 things because those are the 3 hardest things to fit. And those are the 3 hardest things to find when you're actually a woman out there shopping. Jeans, bras, swimwear. If you can find the best fitting of any of those 3 things, you're going to tell the entire world about it. And so what you want to be doing during that time is starting to capitalize on word of mouth. People are starting to talk about your products. You're able to sell more. You're starting to exponentially grow. You're starting to bring in more profits. we've crunched these numbers in a way so that you never go into the red. My spreadsheet, when I went and I did all of these numbers, has you placing purchase orders and then making the sales that you need to make so that your business never goes into the red, as long as you watch your expenses and you keep your team budget to a certain amount. And we encourage you to hire a team. And so in that first year, something that had also come up on that, people were asking $71,000, $71,390 for team. So let's do that on the calculator. 71,390 divided by 12. That's almost $6,000 a month on team. Now I'm going to tell you right now that if you're only making a piece or two, you can hire me and my team for $2,500 a month. If you're going to be starting slow and it's not something where we need to come in and manage a whole bunch of different stuff for you, maybe you're just looking for us to manage this one piece, make sure it gets developed right, make sure it has the highest possible quality, make sure it fits the body like a glove, make sure that it is going to go to a production facility that is going to take care of you, do a good job, you're going to get everything on time. That's only $2,500 a month. So now you've got, I'm sorry, I should know that math off the top of my head. Yes. You have $3,500 left to hire someone for marketing, someone for sales, someone to maybe come in and help you with something that you don't want to do for your brand, someone to help you build your website. $3,500 a month that you can then allocate elsewhere. So that's why we have also allocated this budget the way that it is. We absolutely believe that you can get away with $70,000 a year for a team. Now, you're not paying yourself in this first year because you are trying to just generate profit and get yourself into the black, get yourself moving forward, getting yourself into the sales game. We typically see, I think it's, let me scroll down here in our chart. It is year 3 or 4. It's year 3 where we start to see you paying yourself a salary, and it's a modest salary. But in year 3, we have you paying yourself $56,000 a year. That's a pretty decent salary, considering that you're making that from your very own business. You're making that from the profits of the sales that you're able to do for your own apparel brand. That's pretty freaking stellar. I can tell you that I've been running my business for a little over 3.5 years now, and I'm just now starting to think about paying myself a salary. I've been putting a lot of money back into the business, trying to get things moving forward. And so it's hard to come right out of the gate and start paying yourself a salary. I can tell you I've had clients in the past who do this. They quit their job, they let their spouse quit their job, and they said, we're just going to rely completely on this business, and we're going to pay ourselves the kind of salaries that we need to live the way that we want to live. And they were out of business within 4 years because they were allocating way too much money toward their own lifestyle without being able to feed the business until it is running like clockwork. And so in year 3, you absolutely get to start paying yourself, but it's a little bit modest of a salary and it's not going to come to you in the first couple of years. So I just want to be really real here with what some of these numbers are. Maybe that's a little bit less scary if you're thinking about, oh, okay, $65,000 buys me just a little over 3,000 units, and I only need to sell 450 a quarter to actually start making my sales goals. If you think you can do that, then you're in good shape. So I just wanted to come back to the table, kind of reset that expectation. Some of these numbers look scary, but when you break it down, it's not as scary as it seems. And so we've done some things by quarters instead of months, so the numbers seem bigger. We've done some things by year instead of quarters, and so those numbers seem bigger. And so I just want you to know that, like, once you really break them down and you start to think about them and you apply this to your own business, it can feel a lot more doable. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. This was a short little one today. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you next week.